here we are in St Mark's Place. We've just crash landed here. As you can see, our plane here is in the background. It's in a pretty bad way, so we're not exactly sure how we're going to get out of here. But yeah, well, we've crash landed.
Religious sex, Martin?
Yeah, I would really get religious about sex, you know, it's one of my favourite things, and I think sex should be worshipped as a deity in its own right, you know. As we can see here, we are in the centre of the home of the great Satan, the East Village of New York City, where they microwave babies.
Drama, only attracted to things that'll bring the trauma. Overseas, yeah, we trying to stop terrorism, but we still got terrorists here living in the USA, the big CIA, the Bloods and the Crips and the KKK. But if you only have love for your own race, then you only leave space to discriminate, and to discriminate only generates hate. And when you hate, then you're bound to get irate. Yeah, madness is what you demonstrate, and that's exactly how anger works and operates. Man, you gotta have love just to set it straight. Take control of your mind and meditate. Let your soul gravitate to the love, y'all.
People killing, people dying, children hurt and you hear them crying. When you practice what you preach, and won't you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help us, send some guidance from above. These people got me questioning, where is the love?
The World Trade Center were attacked and collapsed in perhaps the most devastating terrorist attack that ever happened on American soil. Behind me, we can see what is left, a gaping hole in the bottom of the city. This is a poem by Patrick Fake. It's called Nightmare for Tyrants. Bear the bone to hang a dog-written bag over the gouged out eye stir. Press the rib down, the hole in the bone, in the blood. Mutilate, behead, dismember. Man the strange God, charge him down to a pool on stone. Run him through with iron. He, the hero, he, the horror, will stand up headless and fight on.
First of all, I'd like to read one of my own poems here. It's called Mere. I've written a whole series of poems. They're all concerned with the notion and concept of space travel, what it means. Mere, as we all know, is a kind of unprecedented space station. The fact that it stayed up for so long is amazing as well. It's a tribute to the Russian engineers that built it and kept it up there for so long. Unfortunately, it came back last year, and now we've got the International Space Station up there in its place. But this poem's written before Mir actually came back to Earth last year, when they took it down, you know. It starts off with a quote from a press conference that was held in Miami by NASA in 1996, and that was during a time when Andrei Krikalev and the American Mike Foale stayed in space for the longest time ever. It was 6 months, and they just come back, you know, and the journalist says to Mike Foale, do you think that Mir could someday become a tourist destination? And Mike Foale, who's kind of suffering a wee bit from space sickness at the time, says all they find is an unexploded toothpaste tube. You're right. What do you mean? But this is the poem, and it's a welcome to our Russian friends. Mir, 14 years, born 20.4 tons, February 1986. Asteroids and physics wouldn't kill you, but the collapse of the Russian economy will. How you watched over us, A war over planetary fuel, butchery in the Balkans, your own country brought to shame. They couldn't even pay the soldiers to protect you. Chechnya, Bosnia, East Timor, massacred monks in Tibet, Kalashnikovs in Ireland. How many mad presidents? Phases 1, 2, 3 and 4, Anatoly, Pavel, Priroda, Kvant, Kristal, Blaha, and then Atlantis from the US. Angel in the sky, we can still watch you. Discard your wings and fall to earth. Shred the electrics, the motors, the Spectre module, boxes that would not fit. How hard the cosmonauts tried. Sergei Krikalev, 6 months in one go, 1 year, 3 months, 7 spacewalks. Mission specialist, pilot, commander. Now they're back to Earth's own gravity. Their muscles atrophied, circulatory system wrecked, liver banjaxed, head full of space. In Y2K, your homecoming was the fireworks we hoped for on the day, reckoning the final coordinates, the precise specific point of celestial arrival. Near, what do the mountains look like? Oceans, valleys, seas, birds in flight from up there. Us, what do we look like? Send us back the pictures so that we can see.
Up there, yeah, that's right.
It's beautiful up there.
Beautiful Indian country.
And do you think, Joe, there would be people there that would remember you?
Well, I think
Would there be any teachers, priests,
I struck out
friends,
like a
contemporaries?
Imagine me in a seminary. I was in it. I was in it for fucking years because I wouldn't go into the American Army. I don't like armies. And I got away with it too. They knew I was doing that.
So would you have known any of the beat writers like Ginsberg or Kerouac? Would you have known any of the beat writers like Allen Ginsberg or Jack Kerouac or William Burroughs?
I never, but
were you
I was
aware of
getting,
that scene happening?
No, I never met them, but I was living in their contemporary, you know. Everybody was a beat.
Paddy, could I just ask you about the quote that you have at the start of Glass Grass?
Yeah,
One of your most celebrated and famous poems.
yeah,
And it's a quote from Gunter Eck.
yeah.
It says, try
Is it-
to understand that you yourself are guilty of every atrocity, howsoever far from you
but
it
see,
seems to be happening.
But
How does that relate to your poetic
I know, but
and your personal
but I
experience?
translated the word guilty when it should have been you are responsible, but you are guilty too.
Why are we all guilty? Do we turn a blind eye? Have poets, in your
Yeah.
estimation, turned a blind eye?
I blew my stack a couple of days ago down here, and I turned on everybody. You know that I'm a nut, does he? I'm a schizoid, and just like that, if it comes over me, I'd wreck this whole room, or I'd hate everybody, and they were all at dinner, and I turned on every one of them and told every one of them I hated them and called them lousy Protestant bastards. And this girl was a Catholic. She said, Joe, I'm a senior kid. She said, don't call me a Protestant. Well, you can tell by my poetry that I didn't flinch.
You've encountered various difficulties with the literary establishment in Northern Ireland. Why do you think that is?
Well, I came along and I was just 1 year here, and I walked off with the AE prize. And they all started squealing and yelling, the establishment. They said, he's not born in Dublin. I said, it's not a Dublin prize, it's an Irish prize. And I said, Belfast is Ireland to me. And I walked off, the suffering that caused.
Why was The Wariness of Black an important anthology?
Well, because I anticipated, you see, I was born into the Troubles. My mother was a Republican, and my father had to get the hell out of here. He had to go to America. And I was brought up in America. The Irish Americans are more Republican than anybody that you can get. And I was brought up, if I ever got into a bad temper, I'd run to the piano and beat the shit out of the piano and play the Soldier song with 2 feet in the pedal. You know. Ooh, he's looking so serious. Well.
You have to work with a camera.
And I would see that's the best poem I wrote because there was broken glass all over the road, and it was an army place. I can't remember it was a hotel they were in. And then I had to go up to Ballymurphy to read some poems. Brendan Hamill asked me to, and Des Wilson, the priest, asked me, and John Hewitt came with me, and he brought his wife, and we had a wonderful reading. And the thing is, Des Wilson, he couldn't quite get me, and he said, do you understand what it's like to be a murderer, to kill somebody? And I said, I lied. I said, no, of course not. But then I say in the poem that it was a lie. I did understand. And no, it was a good poem for that. After I read one poem, I said, now is that sectarian? And John Hewitt's wife, Ruby, said, we're all sectarian here. And I thought that was very honest. That's the New York of me. I like to be honest.
Cut there for now. Right, well, I'm just gonna kind of sit here like this and sort of read it to Joe then. If that's...
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, get down, dog. You're not in the movie yet. Okay, are we running? Glass grass. Try to understand that you yourself are guilty of every atrocity, howsoever far from you it seems to be happening. Gunter Egg. The scorched cloth smell of burnt flesh from morning. A bomb in one of the parked cars. The gulls glinting like ice on asphalt in April. The sun in a smog of cheap petrol exhaust fumes. All bring on the sinusy migraine. Trudging against an east wind from the cement factory. Awful bad for the chest. I wade through broken glass in a yellowing black smoke through steel smouldering streets. There's broken glass in my wedding shoes. I wore them for luck. Crossing the shadow-deflected town that burns, crossing the always takes, never gives man, crossing our bone sieves, crossing our stunted lives, crossing the starlings with football-kicking kids who make the telephone cables do a war dance. Once I sipped at your wanton wonder like wine. Now everything taken from us is reflected back into this Chinese lacquered black obad, like piano music in a French film breaks into bits of staccato shooting from an M1.
Ducking flying glass from the workers cleaning up afterwards, I take to the middle of Royal Avenue, on my way in gold-rimmed Polaroids to give a poetry reading in Ballymurphy, clutching at ragged editions of my own poems, like clutching at strands of grass to hold you up from falling, with the crashing debris down the mountainy were houses and hotels. I promised John Hewitt and Des Wilson, otherwise I wouldn't venture forth again into this too near to the knuckle disaster. Tired of trying to pretend I am not this frightening freak has something in common with the terrorist of women and children, I read my poem about the icons and guns and ask, now, is that sectarian? We're all sectarian here. Some honest person replies. In the discussion afterwards, Des Wilson says, I'm frightened of poets. I'm frightened of their perceptions. He wants me to answer, can you put yourself into the mind of the man who kills? No, I lie to the priest. I can't. But I can. I'm polluted. With the poison of violence born and bred into it, I'm dying from those dark looks I get from boy soldiers, from slits in pigs, and I try to rub the hatred from my eyes, but it's deeper than looks. The black is in my lungs now, and in my poems. My fellow poets call my poems cryptic, crude, distasteful, brutal, savage, bitter. And I remember the cobbles cluttered from broken glass, glittered like hailstones melting in the warm May noon, and yet I can put myself into the mind of the man who is cold. The rich and reverend doctors who live off the misery of the people like leeches, the fat-faced politicians grinning on TV at their own witticisms, that all I want to do is to lie down and join the other grinners grinning with horror, the skull ones. The ones who died and who are about to die. Here. And how did all this happen inside and behind time, and why so often? I am on the same antidepressant as the backstreet kids and their young mothers. On the streets again, cluttered with broken glass, white houses, charred black. Dear God, Roisin, somebody, arrested 3 times by the British Army for giving her name in Irish, drives us back into black smoke. Is Violet Street on fire? We cut down across from Brian's Mini Market through a Crocus Street maze to the Springfield Road. The girl I saw on Earls Court Street does not matter in this barracks defence mechanism, spreading its Virgil meal cancer cells, a black dog erect, a tin in its teeth. Is running between football kicking kids, does not see the face fallen girl cry nor care. A dog has more of an in our very own boy's world. A sudden black snow of charred newspapers, a lava of dead pencil leaves. Oh, old ladies behind backyard walls emptying slops, old age prisoners still picking their steps, pray for us bombs in time-parked cars by backstreet pubs about to burst into smithereens, fragments resulting from blows. The chimney plots flower smoke for tea time now, and Belfast is a beaten, sexless dog, hushed, waiting for when or where the next blow will fall. Against this black, the white seagulls glide in again, like hazy-eyed drunks, star the dark.
Very good. Very good.
And cut there.
you and I. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. And wish I was special. You're so very special. And I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so very special. I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here when I don't belong here? Whoa, whoa. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.